2 nights ago was the Super Bowl, the illustrious 2014 Super Bowl. Stacy's looking at me through the glass over there in the other part of the studio. Stacy, I know you're a big football fan, correct?
Yes, I am.
Now, you're a big San Diego fan, I know. So San Diego got knocked out. But when the Denver Broncos teed up with the Seattle Seahawks, who was you cheering for?
I was going Broncos all the way, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate about that because they're in the Chargers division, but I love Peyton Manning.
Well, I love Peyton Manning, too, and there was a part of me that, I want to see Peyton get his second ring, because he had the success at Indianapolis. He's had so many, awards and accolades, but winning those big games, and so I wanted to see him get another ring. But by the same token, I just love the Seattle Seahawks. I love the toughness that they bring to the game, like the system that Pete Carroll has installed there. Marshawn Lynch, beast mode, and Russell Wilson, such a class guy. Richard Sherman, Bobby Wagner, all those cats on the defensive side of the football. And then all of a sudden, first play in the game, at the coin flip, Seattle wins and says, no, we're going to give you guys the ball. What did you think about that statement?
Crazy, actually. I was like, did that just happen? I couldn't believe that they didn't take the ball.
I just thought it was, hey, we're here to play football, and we're going to put it on your ass. And I think that was a statement right off the bat. They trusted their D. They got there with that D, and don't get me wrong, Russell Wilson and Marshawn Lynch and that entire offense did what they had to do. But they rode the back of that D, and they put that D on the field and said, come get some.
That defense is so fast.
And it was number one offense against number one defense. So I thought, things are going to turn out a little bit better for Denver. But, on the first play of the game, it was so loud, 12th man showed up there in New York, and there's a lot of commotion. And then the center snaps the ball. Peyton wasn't ready for it. He was down there close to the goal line, probably on, the 5-6 yard line. Ball sails right by him, goes into the end zone. It's a safety. And it's like, I thought on that, Stacey, now to look back, I said, that close to the goal line, don't do all that pre-snap stuff. Just hike the ball and just, hand it off and let's get out of harm's way here. What was your thoughts when the safety went down?
I thought it was crazy, but I will admit I was happy because I had placed a ridiculous bet. $5 that there was going to be a safety in the game because I thought the odds were amazing and who cares, it's $5. But, man, did that pay off.
Man, I tell you what, I couldn't believe it. And then all of a sudden, Peyton's going off the sideline. And just from then on, it was an uphill battle the whole time. And any time it looked like Denver was starting to get into a rhythm, it got shut down by either 3 and out or an interception. Man, I tell you what, Cam Chancellor laid down the boom on, was it Demaryius Thomas he hit?
Yeah.
And, they set the tone there. But defensively, the Broncos gave up a lot of points, but they really shut down beast mode.
They did. They really held them, especially at the beginning of the game. Field goals, they weren't getting in the end zone for touchdowns. They made a stand.
They did, but it was everything else that was going wrong. The one pick that Cam Chancellor got, was a little bit of, behind the receiver, and he kind of threw it into no man's land, and he didn't expect Cam to be playing, center field because he wasn't normally there. But he was, and he made a good play on the football. And then, that D-line of Seattle was putting so much pressure. And then when what's-his-name came in, got the hand, it was Cliff Averill. They brought him, got hands on the ball, and Cliff Averill played a big part in this game. And he was one of those guys that they brought him in specifically to cause that havoc, and he did it all year, and it paid off big. And so anyway, it was a total, they got smoked. They got their ass handed to them. I was still glued to the game, the entire game, because I was wondering to see how long would this last. Was Denver even going to get on the board? And they did, but it was like, yeah.
I felt like Denver getting on the board was almost a gimme.
Yeah, but I don't think it was. But, it's kind of like, when it happened, it's like, and what's Denver supposed to do? They're trying to climb out of a hole. They can't stop. They always keep fighting. And but it was just such an ass whooping. It just was what it was.
The one thing that surprised me is I honestly expected to see Peyton and the Denver offense come back strong, like really try to put some points up like in the end of the late third, fourth quarter, because he's typically good at that. And they just couldn't get it going.
Yeah, once they try to play, he likes to throw those, dink dunk passes and a lot of, to hash mark type stuff instead of going downfield. And it was time to go downfield. But, as soon as they come out in the third quarter, and Seattle's going to get the ball because of what they did in the first quarter, and they kick to Percy Harvin, boom. Trying to kick it away from him, and when the ball hit the ground, like the commentator said, it kind of usually draws everybody together. Well, that's all he needed, and you light Percy Harvin up, give him some free space, and like I said out on my Twitter account last night, Steve Austin BSR, I don't even think I could have caught Percy Harvin, and I'm fast.
He's lightning in a bottle. He's fast.
Stacey, I was kidding. I'm slow as molasses. They're absolutely.
Your 4.940 is not fast.